He has a piano on the premises, a Chickering Grand, like a baby grand. By the way, Bill Evans owned a Chickering that he
Okay.
kept it in his apartment in Fort Lee, New Jersey. So I always like Chickering. Phil Gratteau, the great Phil Gratteau, will be drums. The great Rob Cassinger will be on bass. So it's a pretty good situation, and we're going to continue the same format with the guest every week. So
yeah, I saw you. So you've got November 21st. You've got Natalie Scharf coming in to guest.
Right.
And that it's always from 8 until 9 is the guest artist. They play a set up front. So if you just want to go and listen, even if you're not a musician, it's great just to go and hang and listen. Hey everybody, it's Mike Jeffers, Chicago Jazz Magazine, ChicagoJazz.com, and welcome to another Around Town. Today we have Tom Muellner on, a great pianist. I'm sure a lot of you know exactly who he is, and those of you that are not from the Chicagoland area, you probably still know who he is. So Tom Muellner been playing all around the city, good friend of mine for years and years and years. He actually had one of the hottest jam sessions in town on Monday nights at the Serbian Village. And the Serbian, what was it, 13 years, Tom?
We just about completed 12 years. We were going to start 15th year in January. So.
And then the reason why I wanted to have you on today, and this is sort of a last minute thing, but this whole new gig just popped up last minute too. So you're going to actually relaunch this jam session now starting Monday, November 21st. And you're going to do consecutive Mondays all the way through December 12th at Borelli's Pizzeria, which is at 2124 West Lawrence Avenue in Chicago, right there in the Lincoln Square area. So it's exciting because you just ended Serbian a couple of weeks ago, and now you've got something going again on Mondays. And I'm assuming that same group, same band, same kind of vibe and all that. So tell us a little bit about what's happening and how this whole thing came about.
Well, I wasn't actively looking, I figured I'd take some time off and I figured it'd be very hard to duplicate what we had. I mean, at the Serbian, we had a beautiful Steinway Grand because of Steve Thomas, my good friend.
Yeah.
And it was kept in reasonably good tune most of the time. And we had a sound system, which, vocalists coming in or whatever, and the acoustics were great. And Rudy, first class guy, so I thought it'd be difficult to duplicate. And then I don't know, Chris Karani, who is a bass player in town, but also a lawyer. I've known him for many years. I guess he kind of put us in touch with this place, Borelli's, that you mentioned.
Yeah.
And the owner, Mark, his wife is a piano teacher, and so I think in the back of the place there's like studio rooms and pianos and all that. So he has a piano on the premises, a Chickering Grand, like a baby grand. By the way, Bill Evans owned a Chickering that he
okay.
He kept it in his apartment in Fort Lee, New Jersey. So I always like Chickering because of that. But he's got a piano, he's got a sound system, he's got pizza, and salads and pastas and stuff. Just seems like a win-win situation. He seems to be a great guy. We're going to do it for the next 4 weeks, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah, you take a little time off for Christmas and New Year's and all that, and then see about a reboot in January.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And Phil Gratteau, the great Phil Gratteau, will be drums. The great Rob Cassinger will be on bass. So it's a pretty good situation, and we're going to continue the same format with the guest every week.
Yeah, I saw you. So you've got November 21st. You've got Natalie Scharf coming in to guest. And that it's always from 8 until 9 is the guest artist. They play a set up front. So if you just want to go and listen, even if you're not a musician, it's great just to go and hang and listen. you know, I mean, obviously, Tom and I have been to a million jam sessions in the past too. And sometimes it's exciting just because a lot of these people that come in, musician wise are great. And it's always interesting to see how they all play together and what tunes they call and stuff. But as an audience member, even if you're not a musician, but you love jazz, it's fun
It's
to
great.
check out because you never know who's going to show up and what kind of configuration is going to happen and what kind of tunes are going to happen and all that stuff. And everybody's hanging and talking and meeting people. So even if you're a casual music fan or you love jazz, you just want to hang out, the jam sessions are fun to go to and just check out and hang. And this seems like a great spot to head to.
It's spontaneous. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And basically, it's really a community service. It's what it comes down to. And I just believe in the concept, and yeah, and many people have told me it's the best session they've ever attended. And I get a lot of great musicians coming in. I mean, sometimes people from out of town, great musicians, New York and LA, stopping by, and then some younger cats from the universities, Northwestern, and even then NIU and DePaul and so on. These young guys coming in, and man, they can play.
Well, and this is like right in the heart where the Old Town School is. So I'm sure you're going to grab people from that and that whole neighborhood area too down there that might not have gone up to the Serbian. I mean, they go out and they check this out, and this is a chance for them to see professional jazz players. And then of course, people coming and sitting in right in their neighborhood. So let me run this down because I've got Natalie Scharf, November 21st. I've got Stephanie Aaron, great vocalist, November 28th.
Yeah.
Arlene Bardell, of course, a wonderful vocalist, December 5th. And then Spider Saloff is coming in to do her Yuletide Christmas show there with you guys and sit in and play. And that's going to be, I mean, just the first set alone is going to be worth the price of admission, which is nothing other than to eat and drink. So, I mean, you can't beat that.
Yeah, Spider's a gas, and Arlene's a gas, and love Stephanie and Natalie.
Yeah,
it's all chicks too. But
I noticed that.
But we were they were basically scheduled for the Serbian, so I figured I'd make it happen for the, just almost a continuation, really.
Yeah.
And then they're all dear friends, and just wonderful to work with, and especially with Spider and Arlene, I'm sure Arlene will probably do a holiday tune or two, and I've worked with all of those people for many years, so it's always a delight.
Well, it's gonna be great that you are able to restart this so soon after the Serbian, because you've got that momentum of people used to going out on a Monday night. And
it was successful too. I mean, it would seem like every week we had plenty of people coming in. In fact, sometimes it's a challenge to deal with. Like some nights there's 10 drummers. So it's like, and then you've got all these horn players, so you have to limit it. Okay, 2 horn players, because one tune will take 45 minutes if you're not.
I've been there. I've played drums for a 45-minute tune at Andy's one time when every horn player in town showed up. And then I was playing, and I still remember everybody sits in. It was when John Bainey was doing stuff down there, right?
Right.
Mondays, and everybody shows up, and Charlie Brahms sitting at the end of the bar just laughing at me because I'm up there playing for 45 minutes. And I remember the horn player finally turning around going, "Hey, do you want to take a solo?" And I'm like, what for? Let's just end, man.
But you feel like a slave, man.
Yeah, it's like, what's happening?
And the hell, no, it's a lot of work sometimes. But it's always nice though. A lot of times piano players will come in, so I get away with just sitting around.
So you get to sit around and eat pizza then, huh?
That's one of my favorite things, is just sitting around and eating pizza and doing nothing and drinking and gabbing.
All right. So if you want to come and see live jazz, do that, or you can sit and hang out with Tom Muellner and gab with him if a piano player shows up. So, I mean, it's like it's a win-win for everybody all the way around.
Yeah, and plus this place does have booze,
Yeah.
so you know, that's always a plus.
Yeah. Well,
And they
we were talking before we started too, just to make sure everybody knows, parking wise, there's some meters on the street, but then just north of there, it's not zoned, which means you can park up in the neighborhood and stuff within a block or so and just walk in.
it's Hamilton, I think
Okay.
is the street. It's on the corner of Lawrence and Hamilton, and alongside the place, there's parking, and then across the street on this Hamilton, there's parking, and then north of there, you know, in the residential parts, there's no zonings, so you can, you know, there's plenty of parking.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love it. So let me give them it's Borelli's pizza.com. Of course, we'll link that up. We've got Tomu Jazz, TOMMUJAZZ.com, which is your website, correct? So they can
Right.
find out everything about Tom Muellner there. And, you know, you were actually on several of the famous Talking Jazz hot dog shows. You actually cooked Eric Schneider a Jesus, what is it?
Yeah. Malort.
A Malort hot dog with
Yeah.
onions and sport peppers. I've got it all on video. It's in the YouTube. Maybe I'll link down below. You got to check it out. Tom's a chef too, for those of you that don't know.
Well, not really, but I cook, and I love Eric Schneider. I've worked with him for many years. He's one of the greats.
Yep.
Fortunate, I've gotten to work with some great musicians in my lifetime. Learned a lot from working with Ira Sullivan.
Yeah.
One thing I learned from Ira is you almost have to know any tune ever written in any key at any tempo. So good luck.
Yeah, right. I remember I did a clinic with Ira one time at that Sunnyside Tap, you know, up where Bear Deems and all that used to play, you know, the place. And he walked in and handed everybody a sheet of the essential tunes you have to know. And there was like 500 tunes on this sheet. You know?
Right.
And he's like, this is what you need to know just to get started. All right. And I'm like looking at him. I'm like, oh God, man, this is going to be some serious business here.
I remember one time I was playing with Ira and I said, hey, do you know Waltz for Debbie by Bill Evans? He says, that's the only tune I don't know.
All right. Well, I want to wrap this up because I want to keep things moving here so that everybody can get all the info, because you and I will start going off on a tangent and talking about a bunch of stuff. And we will save that for another one in 2023 when we have more time and we can knock this out. But I wanted to make sure we jumped down and talked about this. So Mondays, November 21st, 28th, December 5th, and December 12th at Borelli's Pizzeria, the Pro Jam performance and jazz party with the Tom Muellner trio. Special guests Natalie Scharf, Stephanie Aaron, Arlene Bardell, and of course Spider Saloff. All that information is going to be up on tomujazz.com. We'll link it up. Of course, it's on chicagojazz.com. And of course, Borelli's Pizza.com is the website for the place, 2124 West Lawrence Avenue in Chicago. Congratulations, my man. I am glad you didn't have too long of a layoff on this thing, because everybody talks about the Serbian jam session, and I'm sure everybody's going to talk about this one as well.
Yeah, I feel like a Rolling Stone. And thank you, Mike, always for your all the great things you do for Chicago and Chicago jazz and all of us cats. All of us cats, man.
Well, I appreciate you, sir, and I will see you soon, I'm sure. And of course, let me wrap this up by saying all the information is on chicagojazz.com. Of course, all the past interviews are there. And hopefully, until next time, I will see someone out on the scene.